In the wake of the debates, you would expect this debate to be one of the most viewed. I said the wake of the debates. What I meant was the wake of the impeachment. The wake of the debates was actually that's what it was. It was a wake because the debates were dead because nobody watched the debates. Yeah, you would think after the impeachment, that's all anybody would want to watch because clearly that was a topic of discussion. But seems like there was one important piece missing. I wonder what that piece was. Let's talk about it. So yesterday was a debate or something like that. I don't know. Nobody really cares about the debate itself because it was pretty boring. I think Bernie Sanders had actually hit at Pete Buttigieg and Biden pretty hard, which is actually pretty impressive. I was glad that he finally handled business in that department. But outside of that, I watched the debate. I will admit to you, I watched it for about 15 minutes, and that's only because Pasta, Fiorella, Johnny, and Tina were doing such a great job making fun of everybody on the debate stage because basically it was like I said, it just wasn't good. Now, I wasn't the only one who felt this way, apparently. The rest of the country did also. Now, as you know, 2 days ago, we had the impeachment vote where they decided to go ahead and impeach Trump on 2 articles and then send that to the Senate. Now, granted, this is a Democratic primary debate. As you'd expect, they talked about the impeachment. And from everything the Democratic Party has told us, this is supposed to be, a huge topic of discussion, right? This is supposed to be impressive. This is supposed to be like get everybody's attention. We're super excited. We're energized about the debates because we care about impeachment so much as America, right? Most Americans are paying attention to impeachment. They're not worried about the fact they don't have health care. They're not worried about climate change. They're not worried about knowing that their news is full of They're not worried about being propagandized. That's not what they're worried about. They're not worried about the state of their military and the fact that we're acting like a hegemonic imperialist dickhead walking around swinging our stick at everybody who has resources that we might need. They're not worried about any of that stuff, sending their kids off to die, sending their kids off to go kill somebody else. They're not worried about stuff. They're worried about impeachment, everybody. At least that's what we thought. Because the day after the impeachment, there was this really hyped debate. They had 6 million viewers. It was a historic record low. What makes it worse, okay, was that total includes PBS's broadcast and the simulcast on CNN and on CNN in Espanol. It makes it the least watched debate of this election cycle. Now, I know what some people may be thinking. Well, maybe it's because less candidates are on the stage, right? You have less candidates on the stage. That means you have less supporters wanting to tune in. Actually, that's not the case because over half of the voters in this primary so far haven't actually settled on their decision. So in other words, it's still up in the air. So why isn't anybody watching? Well, there's a lot of reasons why I believe that. But one of the primary reasons, it's likely because Tulsi Gabbard wasn't there. Be real with you. It's the truth. This debate was the least watched debate. Now, the last debate was the least watched debate, but there's a caveat. It was before this one, but there's a caveat. The caveat is it wasn't that much so the least watched debate. It was the debate that was the least watched before that one was the debate that Tulsi wasn't there as well, where simultaneously Tulsi was a top 5 most Googled candidate during their debates. On top of that, you can't make the argument that there are less people, therefore there are less people watching. And the reason why I say that is because, well, ladies and gentlemen, the most popular Democratic primary debate thus far, the record, is actually between Hillary Clinton and Bernie Sanders. Believe it or not. It's between Hillary Clinton and Bernie Sanders. And then the most watched debate ever is Donald Trump in August of 2015. And that was when there were way too many people on the debate stage, but people still tuned in. But that was more like WWE entertainment, so I guess I can understand that one. But so far, at the time, the first debate that Tulsi had missed, that was the record low. Then the next debate Tulsi missed was the record low. I don't think that's a coincidence, ladies and gentlemen. I don't think it's a coincidence. But I do think it also points to something that's probably more important than this. The Democrats, nobody cares. Nobody is taking the Democrats seriously. I feel like there is this microcosm. There is this bubble on social media. There's a bubble even on YouTube. There's a bubble within political circles where they believe in their heart of hearts that the Democrats are seen as the better altruistic party. They believe that in their hearts. They believe in their hearts that most people care about impeachment, let alone support it. Now, most people don't even care about it. The reporter for, I want to say ABC, that follows Tulsi around the campaign's trail, that's her assignment, said that Tulsi has maybe had 2 questions about impeachment her entire campaign. Her entire campaign is usually asking to vote against it. Nobody, this is, your goal was to try and muddy the waters for Trump because you're running. Also, the other goal was to protect Biden and protect the Democratic establishment. We know this. Most of the country can see through the nonsense. They don't take you seriously. Now, the fact that it was the least watched probably works. It's best for 3 people. Bernie Sanders, because Bernie Sanders' base is Bernie Sanders' base, and Bernie Sanders' base isn't going anywhere. He's galvanized a lot of people already. He has over 1 million unique contributors. He has over 1 million volunteers. He only lost by 3 million votes last time, and I think he only got like 7 million votes in total. And so if he's more than halfway to his total from the last election when he was running against the most well-connected, well-networked candidate in the history of the United States of America. So he's fine. He's like, shit, y'all ain't got to watch it. If my base isn't watching, it's because they already know what I'm about. Buttigieg needed 15 million people watching. Biden needed, Warren especially needed 15 million people watching, but that's not what took place. Their fans were watching. That's essentially what took place. Their fans were watching. However, Buttigieg, Warren, and Amy Klobuchar, of course, as well, and Steyer even to a degree, I think that right now Warren should be probably a little scared of Steyer, because right now, in my opinion, Steyer is actually pulling a Warren better than Elizabeth Warren is, if I'm being completely honest with you. This demonstrates to me, once again, my opinion. This isn't a fact, this is just my opinion. If it was a fact, I would tell you. This demonstrates to me that people don't really care about what most of those people on the stage have to say, and that people will tune in. They thought Tulsi was going to be there. People will even tune in, mind you, if they thought it was a legitimate debate. If they thought it was going to be a substantive debate, but that wasn't what it is. The low viewership also benefits, obviously, Tulsi Gabbard. It shows that no matter what you say, there was no clear-cut leader. I think the most Google candidate last night, and I might be mistaken, it was Elizabeth Warren, but it was only in like 12, 13 states. Like, she just had the most states, but it wasn't unanimously, I have every single state in the country like Tulsi Gabbard. Funny enough, while that was going on, Tulsi Gabbard was trending number 1 in almost every metropolitan area around the country, and in 13, 14, 15 states. Still, by the way, trending number 1 all day, negative or positive, trending, as we've learned from the Trump administration, trending number 1, negative or positive. When you are trying to bust the establishment up, that's always a great thing. Always. For real, for real. So that's great for her, because that means The message that the Dems have on stage is stale. The message that she has is fresh. So the people who are not in that little circle, that bubble, they're tired of that nonsense. They're trying to hear something new. Tulsi brings a fresh face. The third candidate that this benefits the most, Andrew Yang. I don't believe Andrew Yang gets most of his support from the debate stage. I think every now and then he gets to get a publicity stunt that has worked very well for his campaign, but I don't think that's what garners most of his support. He has a very unique campaign style. He does have a very unique energy to him, and obviously the UBI is a hell of an attention getter. Who here can't use $1,000 a month? I know I can, and so if I didn't have anybody else to choose and I was forced to choose somebody, Andrew Yang would have been my number one. If I was forced, listen, y'all, I don't give a damn what anybody said. If you look at me in my face, tell me we ain't had nobody else, and they would like, no, not Tulsi, not Bernie, and it was Andrew Yang and everybody else. Y'all trying to tell me y'all wouldn't vote for Andrew Yang for $1,000 a month? You a damn lie. You're lying. I caught you lying to the computer screen of your cell phone. That's between you and baby Jesus. Don't lie to me. Y'all know y'all take that $1,000, and that's an attention getter. Listen, one of my best friends, one of my best childhood friends growing up, he hit me up one day. He said, "Hey, bro, Niko, I need you to tell me a little bit about Andrew Yang, man. What's up with this $1,000 a month? He real about that?" So that's an attention getter. But once again, it lets you know, okay, for the most part, if you're Andrew Yang looking at it from his perspective, okay, the viewers aren't watching this. This debate is stale. The Democratic Party and their message is stale, and even when it isn't stale, nobody believes them. Why would you? They're inconsistent. They're inconsistent ideologically. I think that this has been kind of a debacle. It's not been a well-run primary so far. Debates are nonsensical. They haven't been substantive in any way. The only time they've been substantive is when who's on stage. So the winners of the lowest viewed debates are Bernie, Tulsi, and Yang, because they're the only ones who have a message that is unique to individuals who are not PBH. They're not PBHs. You know, for those of you who don't know, partisan butthurt. Like the partisan butthurt those are the PBHs are the ones who all they focus on is, if you're opposite of my candidate, you're not on my team. If you're opposite of my party, you're not on my team. Everything the other side does is bad. If you threaten my candidate, if you're a threat to my candidate, then you're bad. I don't care what you have to say. All my logic goes out the window. That's a PBH. They're partisan butthurt. They're always offended by everything anyone does unless you support their candidate or it's their candidate who does it. All the PBHs, those are the ones who are tuning into debate. That's who tuned into the debate. But that's not what's going to win you the election. I think for the most part, I think probably Bernie supporters were the dominant viewers, to be honest with you. I think Warren had a lot, but I think that I feel like most people who watched that debate, they already had their minds made up. There's a reason Tulsi keeps trending #1, and it's because people want something new. They want something fresh. There's a reason that Andrew Yang does as well as he does. You should see his Reddit skills, his team's Reddit skills, because they're all over Reddit all the time. There's a reason that Bernie has 1 million unique donations and 1 million new volunteers and averaging $18 a donation. There's a reason for that. The Dems are not the answer. The outsiders are. And that's what we must remember going forward. So keep the faith. I think that low viewership is fantastic for people like us, the outsiders. Thank you all so much for tuning into that live stream segment of Mikasa Sukasa. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you share. But more than anything else, always remember, find your balance. Peace. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and hit that notification bell if you like that segment of Mikasa Sukasa. Of course, if YouTube is giving you trouble, as it always does, you can download the Rockfin app and follow us there. Also, if you want to continue to help our show grow, you can help us reach our goal of 500 patrons on Patreon and donate as little as $1. Really, anything helps. Other than that, always remember, people, more than anything else, find your balance. Peace.